what I do right now is really no different than what I've done almost 8, 9, 10 years ago. It's just a little bit more experience, but because of it, it honestly changed my life. Just want to be able to use this time to just thank everyone who's been following the journey so far. Whether you've started from day one, you joined a year ago, you found this 6 months ago, 3 months ago, maybe an hour ago, really am grateful for you all. The fact that we just were able to pass the 10,000 subscriber count on YouTube just blows my mind. I told myself I would have been honestly just happy with 100 or 50 of you, and to get to where we are now, even though it's still a drop in the bucket compared to all these larger kind of channels, it really means a lot. You know, turning on the camera about 2 years ago initially started as kind of a creative outlet. As you know, my story, like I've been recruiting for almost a decade now, and about 8 years, coming up with 9, was just really kind of working for myself. For most of it, it was just me and myself. And so for a lot of you kind of coming into this thinking about starting your own agency, there's nothing wrong with just being a really great independent recruiter. If you can just do a good number of placements or a handful every single year, it could be a great lifestyle, giving you that freedom to travel, to do whatever you want to do, pursue passion hobbies if you want to, and have that flexibility of not having to manage anybody. I think there's a lot of pressure that we put into ourselves that, you know, when you want to start working for yourself as a business, it automatically is assumed that you need to go hire somebody. And that's great and all if that's what you really want to do. But I think, you know, a small, really high productive team, or even just working for yourself, there's nothing wrong with that. It's an amazing lifestyle. And because of it, it honestly changed my life. And just want to, again, use this as an opportunity to just share with you that it's been quite a roller coaster. And for us as well, I think recruiting is an amazing career that anyone can consider. It's still an amazing business opportunity if you're more entrepreneurial. What really boggled my mind in the beginning is before I discovered this industry, I had no idea this was a massive industry. It's over $1 billion. It's in almost every single industry out there. And what I do through my weekend life is just one type of recruiting. I do full-time placements in tech. There is part-time, there's RPO, there is retainer, there's exclusive, and there's so many others probably in different other industries that I'm just not familiar with. What's really crazy is that even though I'm personally proud of the levels I was able to achieve doing a certain amount of kind of placements per year, a certain amount of placements per month, really kind of able to show you all some of the biggest months I've ever experienced in my entire career, it just kind of also blows my mind. There are people out there who are still also just by themselves doing, 2, 3, 5x of what I'm doing. And so that kind of puts everything into perspective. And it's the reason why I just want to practice gratitude as much as I can, never take anything for granted, and just want to do the best and try to be the best I can to provide as much value to my clients, to my candidates, and also now you. So it's been an absolute pleasure to be able to kind of put out content for the past 2 years. Now doing this for a couple years, my honest hope is to just hoping to kind of still be a fun channel where you can laugh, you can learn something, to be able to provide you as much value as possible and to really answer any questions that you have about recruiting, tech, etc. It's something that I interface with every single day. And so it's really, I think the coolest thing to have people like yourself reach out to me. I always do my best to reach out to people or respond as much as possible. As you know, I'm not a full-time creator. I'm a full-time recruiter, full-time business owner. And so my time is super limited. And even though I would love to kind of sync up and have a phone chat with you all, I can't. But for the time being, if you do want to get in touch with me, feel free to reach out to me on Discord, LinkedIn, Instagram, and I'll do my best. For those that are currently working on their business right now, who want to get to the next level, who are struggling, I do offer limited coaching calls every single week. So please reach out to me if you have any questions there. If you have any specific questions on other videos you want me to make, I will do my best to kind of include that in the queue. But I'm doing the best that I can in terms of trying to push forward with my recruiting initiatives and build and provide valuable and entertaining content, hopefully, to you all. I think this is a really exciting year to look forward to. I think it can also just be very, very challenging. I think if you're able to survive 2020 and now 2021, 2022, there's a good chance you can survive this year. But I also do know that a lot of founders, a lot of businesses are worried about the economic climate, the headwinds that are coming, and especially for those that are just starting out right now or running out of cash, it could be a really daunting experience. When it comes to recruiting, honestly, in tech, you see all these layoffs happening. And of course, that affects us recruiters as well. But at the same time, I do know that even in the most difficult of economic climates that companies are always getting funded, companies are always scaling, and there is always going to be a need for really great recruiting talent out there. So don't be afraid if you're looking to pivot your career or start in freelancing right now or start your agency right now, because things will stabilize in that eventually. And if you can find a way to be creative and then to really be crystal clear on your value proposition, who you are, the services that you offer, once market stabilizes, once we're able to hit a bull run again, it's going to honestly feel so much easier. I think the real reason why a lot of people quit doing any business, including recruiting, is that they're just never able to experience a down market. It's very easy to be successful, very easy to get business, very easy to make money in a good market, in a healthy market, in a bull upward market. I think if you're able to kind of go through seasons of difficult markets, that's going to help you create a really strong mindset, tough skin, be able to push forward when you feel like things are not possible and or when things just are very unknown to you in terms of the future. So I think from my experience, people who are seasoned business owners and operators have gone through ups and downs multiple times. And if you're able to just survive one, you can survive it all. And of course, each period is very unique. 2020 was very unique. 2021, 2022, really unique. 2023 is super unique. We don't know what's going to happen, and I'm doing my best to be cautious, but also want to remain optimistic in terms of the content I want to be able to create out, some exciting new projects I want to be able to kind of explore with you all. And of course, just trying to reach that new level with our recruiting business and our service for amazing companies and founders out there. All this to say is that it's been an absolutely incredible journey. I wish I turned and documented my journey earlier so you can see what life was like when I started with zero. I don't want you to get the feeling that recruiting is easy money and getting clients and candidates easy. I do my best to be as transparent as possible, but there's also a lot the camera doesn't show, like how much I'm working behind the scenes, behind the camera, how much I'm battling just anxiety and stress and depression and lack of sleep off camera as well. Recruiting, I think, is an incredible career, but because on the agency side, it's also very sales and entrepreneurial focused. There are a lot of things that you kind of have to deal with, whether it's rejection and failure, being able to kind of be comfortable with chaos, changing priorities constantly, working with difficult people, clients, candidates, going a million miles an hour. It's not for everybody, and it is just crazy to see that I lasted this long. And the funny thing is, if you saw some of my earlier videos, like I never planned on being a recruiter this long. And I think it was a small little litmus test for myself that if I can talk about being a recruiter openly, especially publicly, internet, then I fully embraced it. And I mentioned that because the early years of recruiting, I kind of had a little issues with my identity. Like I didn't know how long I wanted to be a recruiter. I wasn't initially proud of being a recruiter. I'm like, this is not something that I want to do for a long term. I'm going to do something else, maybe finance or something marketing related. And now almost a decade in, I guess the joke's on me, but the real difference from Preston day one to Preston now is I'm proud to be a recruiter. And if you are in recruiting in any facet, be proud. Let's be proud. I think what we do is incredibly important. We provide so much support and value to teams and companies we're working in, especially the founders, hiring managers, and of course candidates, whether agency side, in-house, corporate, RPO. We should all just be proud. I think it's an awesome profession. I think every single profession has difficulties and challenges, and I just want to do what I can to meet other great recruiters like yourself, and then just to find ways to be better, provide more value. So all this to say, again, just thank you so much for everything. If there's ways you think I can improve, please let me know. If you don't learn anything and I can just make you smile once, I think that's a win for me. But I'm just proud to make recruiting content, proud to talk about recruiting and introduce it to people who never thought it existed, like myself. And who knows, maybe it could be you, where you decide to get your first recruiting job, you start freelancing, you start your own agency, and it could change your life as it did me. Thank you again. Grateful for everything, and will do my best to remain transparent and positive and be someone who will just show up and just do the best that I can in a consistent manner. And if I can do it, you can do it as well. What I do right now is really no different than what I've done almost 8, 9, 10 years ago. It's just a little bit more experience, but really staying true to the fundamentals, doing the best that I can with being accessible, being responsive, making sure I preserve candidates' experience as much as possible, and always trying to find really great companies to work with. And I just love technology. So it's really, really cool to be able to work with some of the companies and founders who are just on the cutting edge of tech in our time. So again, thank you. Appreciate you listening to this rant, but it really, really means a lot. And I think for a career and job where it's easy to feel lonely all the time, it was really, really cool to know that like I'm not in this alone. There are other people out there doing something similar. And if you decide to pivot into recruiting because you stumbled upon our content, I think that's really awesome. I think recruiting industry is always looking for other great professionals out there. And I think it's one of the best entrepreneurial sales jobs out there. You know, you can have a successful career and business, and you can just stay at home if you want to, or you can meet people. Whatever strengths, whatever things that you want to do, you can do in recruiting. And it's just the coolest thing to get paid when you make a difference in people's lives and you help, companies and teams scale. So whether you're a seasoned recruiter, whether you're new, welcome again. Thank you so much. And onward and upward, and let's do whatever we can to make 2023 awesome and elevate recruiting together.